Welcome to Places to Go with Heather Gill. This edition of People to Know, I am interviewing the one and the only Eric Benar with Sundance Digital Marketing. Eric, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely, man. All right, so tell us a little bit more about yourself and about Sundance Digital Marketing.
Well, I am a Marine Corps veteran. I live in the Colony, Texas, and I help small businesses and nonprofits with their digital marketing needs, mainly focusing on WordPress websites. And I just enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy helping people and being that type of servant. You know, I'm very involved in my church and do a lot with my church. So I have that servant's heart, and figure this is another way that I can help people out.
Very good. So how long were you in the Marines doing all that?
I was in about 2.5 years,
Okay.
and I was a hydraulics mechanic on support equipment. So I was stationed on a helicopter squadron, and I worked on support equipment like hydraulic jacks and tow tractors and things of that sort. So I was off to the side. Didn't get to work on the helicopters, but I was around quite a bit.
So talk me through your journey, you know, of moving into being an entrepreneur and actually having your own agency.
I have my degree it's a bachelor's of business administration from Texas State University in San Marcos. And when I graduated in December of 2007, the beginning of 2008, I was hired on with the San Marcos Chamber of Commerce, and I was the communications manager there. And that was the first kind of taste of website and online stuff that I really truly got. I had a lot of the members coming to me and talking to me, asking me for advice on social media and websites and such. And a lot of them, the small businesses and nonprofits, couldn't afford a larger agency, so they were trying to do it on their own. And since when I was hired, we had just started the process of redesigning the website. And the company that we hired was a local company, so they taught me a lot about the website. And so a lot of the members were coming to me and asking questions, and they were trying to do it on their own, or having their kid or a friend do it, and it just didn't look professional. It wasn't easy to navigate, and so that's where I kind of realized that there was a need in that area. I knew there was a way to help the small businesses and nonprofits, and just put something together and decided, here's what I'm going to do.
Right.
And what I noticed is the reason that it costs a lot more is because most of the agencies want to create a website, code a website, and there's ways to create a website where you don't have to code. I didn't want to go into that because, again, I knew it was going to raise the price that I'd have to charge. So I stuck with WordPress websites and customizing the themes that are out there. So there's thousands and thousands and thousands of themes, and they can be customized, the colors, the layouts, all sorts of things. And since I'd worked for the Chamber of Commerce in San Marcos, I still knew a lot of businesses out there. And since what I do is online, I can take it anywhere I go. So I moved up here and brought the company with me, and started seeking people out in this area to help out.
Now, I think being in the niche of WordPress websites is just absolutely genius, because people that are, small business owners, entrepreneurs, people that don't have that $1 million budget to do this kind of stuff, I mean, that's what they're using. They're using WordPress or something equivalent to it, but really WordPress is the king in my mind for that kind of deal. So I think that's a really great value add. I think there are a lot of business owners who, instead of trying to do it themselves and driving themselves crazy and not doing it right, I think, if they were to work with a professional like you, and have it done right from A to Z. First of all, it wouldn't take forever because WordPress is, plug and play, and you've got all that really great background knowledge to go in and customize and really make the look and feel the way the customer wants, which the average person wouldn't know how to do that. So they really need your services. And I think, again, I think the WordPress niche is just brilliant, really brilliant.
Well, and one of the benefits of WordPress is that it is easy to learn, and in that when I create a website, if my client wants to take it over and update it from that point forward, it's easy for me to teach them how to go in, how to create a page, and how to do some of the layout. Where the biggest struggle or hurdle that I see with the small businesses and nonprofits is the creative side. How to lay out the page so it works well, so the information is where it needs to be, so it's interactive, those types of things. So when I create the layout of the website, I can teach my clients how to go in and edit some of those areas, add additional text, change the information, or create a whole new page. And that helps reduce their cost as well. And the goal is to help people who are struggling. And by using WordPress, it makes it a lot easier. Some of the other platforms that are out there aren't as user friendly. I won't go into the details, but WordPress has just been the easiest to be able to put together quickly for a decent price, and that's not going to blow the budget.
No, I think it's a good niche, and I know you're good at what you do. So let's move on from talking about your business here, and let's actually get to know you a little bit better. I know you've got some hobbies. You mentioned mountain biking, hunting. Of course, taking things apart, putting them back together makes total sense. That's what you do as a Marine Corps guy. You're up there, working and messing with all that stuff all day long. So just tell us a little bit more about this. Give us a little bit more information.
Well, I like mountain biking because I need to exercise more because I'm sitting in front of the computer a whole lot. And so it's low impact on my knees, especially. My knees are really bad. And so it's a way to get out there and get some exercise. Hunting, I love being out with my friends out in the outdoors, and just being with nature, and then taking things apart and putting them back together. I learned how to work on cars and engines from my granddad, and what he used to do is actually he taught himself how to work on vehicles. When he was younger, he bought, I believe it was a Model T, and put it in his garage, and had a wall, and he started taking it apart, and he would draw on the wall the part that he was taking out of there and where it would go, so he knew how to put it back together properly. And then when I was young, he would go up and down the alley in Dallas and see lawnmowers that people were throwing away. He would push them back to his home, and at that time he was legally blind, but could still see some. And he taught us, my older brother and myself, how to work on engines by fixing those lawnmowers. And so taking things apart and seeing how they work has always been an interest to me. And that's kind of what another way that I got into websites is because I wanted to learn how they were put together. And so I started learning by taking them apart in a sense, and then putting them back together. And so it's just fun. I love tinkering and finding out how things work.
No, it's really cool. Very cool. Let's move on to the bonus question.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready, I think.
That's a hard one. Okay. What's your go-to sweet treat? Tell me. I got to know.
That's kind of a tough one. I think I'd have to say Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Okay.
But even more than that is the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Blizzards.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's just something about the Dairy Queen Blizzard that I just love. They actually use Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, whereas some of the other places don't.
So when we're out of quarantine, you're going to go straight to Dairy Queen and get yourself a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Blizzard.
That's right.
Speaking of nuggets,
Yeah.
top couple of things that you'd quickly want to share.
Some people have the saying, if you want something done right, do it yourself. That's not always the case.
Right.
If you want something done right, hire a professional.
Right.
Would you hire a plumber to work on your car? No, because they're not an expert in that area. And so when you talk to an expert or you hire an expert, you may pay a little extra at the beginning, but in the long run, you're going to save tons of money constantly with clients because they hired somebody who's not an expert, who doesn't know the laws or doesn't know how to do something properly, and it ends up costing the client a lot more money because then they have to hire a professional to fix what was done and such. Seek a professional, seek their advice in whatever direction you're going with whatever needs you have. Another nugget of wisdom for me, something that's very important in my life is trust in God. And he's helped me through so many things in my life. Those low times, he's carried me through so much, and in ways by putting somebody into my life, bringing a person into my life that is there, that's going to help me. I have several people in my life, well, a lot of people in my life that way right now. And several years back, I was struggling with some severe depression. And if I didn't have my relationship in Christ, I don't believe that I would be here right now.
Oh, wow.
In 2010, my dog showed up just out of the blue. Little puppy, no tags, no collar, nothing. And she showed up on Father's Day of 2010, which was a Sunday. We were getting ready to go to church. And I've always said that she was God's Father's Day gift to me because he knew that I was going to need her in my life. And so over several years, she and I formed this relationship. And when I went through my divorce and other things that really took me into that severe depression, she was there for me. And in order for, I had to get out and do stuff in order to feed her and take care of her. And so she was a reason for me to continue moving forward in my life.
Awesome.
So he's, for me, that's another nugget of wisdom is trust in God that he's going to get you through any circumstance.
Right. And I think those words are even more meaningful considering the season of life that we're all in. The whole world is under quarantine in some capacity with this virus that's running around. So I say cheers to that. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and my dog is trying to make an appearance also. I don't know if you saw in the bottom right of my screen, I think she heard her name. And she's ready to go outside on the porch. Isn't that right, Cora?
She's cute. I've met Cora in person, and she's adorable. She's a very loving dog.
She is.
Well, very good. I love those nuggets of wisdom. Let's go ahead and wrap up. And I want to let people know how to get in touch with you. Eric is great at what he does. If you need somebody to help you with websites, Eric is your go-to person. So if you want to reach out to him, you can go to his website, sundancedigitalmedia.com, and you can go to ways-to-connect. Just use the screen. And it'll get you there. It'll have all of his info on how you can contact him. Again, thank you so much, Eric, for being on today. Super appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.